Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to Spooky Month. And if you're new to both, well, it's a great time to join on in. This is going to be one of the final videos of Spooky Month. I may be making another one soon, but I'm so happy to be talking about this film because it is another YouTuber directorial debut that premiered in 2025. Now, the reason why I say another one is because we previously talked about House on Eden, which was Chris Collins' directorial debut. Now we're going to be talking about Shelby Oaks, which is Chris Stuckman's directorial debut. Now, Chris Stuckman is a movie reviewer that has over, I believe, 2 to 3 million subscribers on YouTube. And from my memory, the Shelby Oaks Kickstarter campaign actually broke world records for Kickstarter. And so there was a lot of talk and whispers around specifically Shelby Oaks. You know, is it going to be good? Is it going to be worth it? And ladies and gentlemen, I do have to say, it wasn't that bad. Now, the reason I said that I was lucky and happy to be able to see this is because the theater that I was working at, fun fact, shut down. But a partner theater that we had was showing this film, and me and my buddies decided to just go up and see it. But yeah, now this review isn't going to be super in-depth on theme. I'm rarely even going to be talking about anything besides maybe the characters and some of the cinematography, just because it is a super new film and I recommend y'all go see it in theaters, not only to support theaters, but to support YouTuber filmmaking. Maybe I'll do a deeper review when I finally do my YouTuber horror film ranking. Now, getting into my impression of Shelby Oaks, I will say this is a fantastic directorial debut. Now, while this film is shot like a regular sort of horror film, it also incorporates found footage, because the plot of this film is a woman trying to hunt down her sister who apparently had gone missing in Shelby Oaks. And what does this sister do? She's a YouTuber for Paranormal Paranoids, which is the second YouTuber horror film to feature a person who is blonde who has a YouTube channel where they investigate the paranormal, which I found really interesting. Now, this film, I will say, delves into some heavy ass shit, so if you are sensitive to that sort of thing involving like assault and self-harm and stuff, I recommend you do not watch it, just because, you know, I don't want anyone out there, you know, fucking up their minds and shit because this. But overall, this film was fantastic. It comes in around 91 minutes and stuff, and it does use up the time very well. There's some great effects and stuff, and while I don't personally know a ton of the cast, except Keith David, who's randomly there, which I'm not gonna lie, kind of took me out of the movie for a split second, they all do a fantastic job for what they're trying to accomplish. And I didn't really notice too much CGI and stuff. I just noticed a lot of great practical stuff going on. In my opinion, this is definitely a fresh air for smaller indie films, which apparently this film was not only distributed by Neon, but it was also executive produced by Mike Flanagan. Yes, that Mike Flanagan, which is insane to me. I straight up like gasped in the fucking theater when I saw that shit. Also, I will say marketing for this film pretty solid overall. A buddy of mine initially saw the trailer in theaters and he kind of looked over me. He was like, "Meh, it doesn't look that good." And then I brought him with me to see it, and he said, like, you know what? It's not the worst horror film I've seen this year, and I can agree with him because there are some plenty of bad horror films. And if whenever Dead Meat releases the Dead Meat Horror Awards or their list of movies for the Dead Meat Horror Awards, I will talk to you about some of the worst horror films I've ever seen this year. But yeah, overall, I'd get Shelby Oaks a 6 out of 10, possibly a 7 out of 10 on a rewatch. I will say, and this just might be a me thing, I don't love supernatural horror all the time because I feel like it's kind of overplayed. I feel like sometimes it's a crutch. I do prefer, like, you know, a physical killer instead of just like, oh, it's a ghost, oh, it's a demon. But this one, in my opinion, did something interesting with it, and it didn't feel like the same cookie cutter kind of shit. I don't know if I could confidently put this in my top 5 for the year horror-wise, but I could definitely say this is one of the better YouTuber horror films and YouTuber films in general. And people might be saying and stuff like, well, he got a ton of money and stuff. It's gonna look great because of a ton of money. No, I've seen films with massive-ass budgets look god-awful and be god-awful. Like Megan 2.0. It was a god-awful movie. I fucking hated that movie. But anyway, yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. I recommend y'all go see it in theaters and stuff. All the acting was great. All the horror was great. It was pretty scary. Some of the jump scares kind of got my friend, and he like straight punched me in the arm because he was like, "Oh, that was scary." But yeah, there may be some other horror videos I post in November just because I'd watched a bunch of stuff preemptively for Spooky Month, but I never got around to making some of those videos. One of them I really want to make is going to be on Never Hike Alone, and I really want to make that one because I can use a ton of the footage because it's, of course, it's a YouTube short film and stuff. But yeah, y'all have a good day, good night, good night, good night. I'll be seeing you on the next one, and make sure not to die. Bye-bye.